Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Fellowship of Nanaimo. Our mission is to create spiritual connection and bring compassion, discovery, and social justice to life. My name is Catherine Walker, and I am your service leader this morning. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. Our minister today is the Rev Debra Faulk, who is part of our ministry team and has been a great support and inspiration for us in the last few years. She's a lifelong Unitarian, the co-president of the Canadian Unitarian Council, and a passionate gardener. She joins us from Victoria. Please take a moment now to silence or turn off your cell phones. Thank you. Let's say hello to everyone attending on Zoom. So you do that by turning around and waving at the frog, and then they're going to see you. Whatever your hopes, dreams, and aspirations, whatever your race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender identity, whatever makes you who you are warmly welcomed here. In keeping with our Unitarian Universalist aspiration of radical inclusion, we invite you to share your pronouns as well as your full name when introducing yourself, if you are comfortable doing so. We are grateful for a diversity of voices on Sunday mornings, and our services vary from week to week. Our service is between 60 and 75 minutes long. If this is your first time with us, a very special welcome to you. If you are joining us online for the first time, please consider sharing your contact information with us. You can share it with the host by going to the chat icon at the bottom of your screen. We'd love to welcome you to our community. We have a website, ufon.ca, and invite you to check it out for more detailed information about who we are, the services we offer, and how you can connect with us. So for announcements today, I don't know if you know this, but we do not encourage spontaneous announcements. We've tried that in the past, and it made havoc of our timeline during the service. So actually, as a service leader, I'm the only one who's allowed to be spontaneous. I try not to abuse that power. But today, as you might have noticed, some of us are wearing orange, and next year we are going to give you a reminder in the newsletter, but we forgot, if you have an orange shirt. In honor of the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation. And I was thinking that I learn best by reading fiction. I'm very lazy about reading nonfiction. So I'm going to be spontaneous and put out the idea, this depends on if there's people interested, of starting a book club to read books by Indigenous authors, especially Canadian Indigenous authors. And I was thinking meet once a month, some people in person. We could have also Zoom people coming in. So it's just putting it out there. So if you are interested, just come and talk to me about it. Okay, that was my spontaneous announcement. It came to me during choir. Second announcement is after the service ends, while we are still eating and drinking our refreshments, we will be holding our annual general meeting. Everyone who is here is invited to attend, but we especially need all the members to stay for the meeting so that we have quorum. Only members are allowed to vote. And third announcement, we're all excited to have a new minister and are eager to meet her. We also want to ensure her transition to ministry with us is as smooth and as stress-free as possible. So a transitions team made up of Tony Turner, I don't know where Tony is, John Sewer, oh, there's Tony, John Sewer, there's John. And Catherine J. Hazel, right there. No, you're not on that. Debbie Goodman. Trying to give you extra work. There, Debbie beside Catherine. Now I lost my place. That's what happens. Has been set up to help make that happen. As part of that process, we are asking that you direct all requests to Reverend Ashley via the transitions team so that she isn't overwhelmed with emails. Please send your questions to the team at transitions@ufon.ca. And no messaging her on Facebook, please. I haven't looked for her yet. I'm sure she's there. To find out about all special events, groups, and meetings taking place in the hall, you can go to the calendar on our website, read the weekly email sent to you on Friday, or check out the large whiteboards in the hall by the washrooms. Land acknowledgement. We acknowledge today that we meet on the traditional territory of the Snuneymuxw First Nation. As Unitarians, we are committed to the work of reconciliation required to address the harm done to all Indigenous peoples and their cultures by non-Indigenous peoples. We have much to learn from the Indigenous perspective, including that the earth is the source of all life and that our responsibility is to honor and care for it. Let us now enter into sacred time through music. I now invite Leah and the fabulous Fufonics to deepen our land acknowledgement with this song.
Good morning, everyone. Our prelude this morning was composed by Christopher New, who is a musician and composer as well as a minister who's based in Edmonton. And I want to especially thank Nancy Steeves for introducing us to his music. Christopher New. And this song is called On Storied Land.
Storied land, our shared green grass, we celebrate the joy of this good earth, this sacred place, our cherished land, where all creation's bless and tend our home. We join in trust, in partnership, as one with land and sea, all humanity. We honor those, the first ones here, the last lament, ancestral shame and hurt. This sacred place and cherished land, where all relations bless and tend our home. We join in trust, in partnership, as one with land and sea, all humanity. At beauty's call, we reverence all. We gently hold the trust our futures need. This sacred place and cherished land, where all relations bless and tend our home. We join in trust, in partnership, as one with land and sea, all humanity. The sacred place and cherished land, where all relations bless
Thank you. What a blessing. Thank you. Thank you. A chalice lit in our midst is a symbol of our liberal faith, a faith built on the foundation of freedom, reason, and inclusion, a faith sustained by acts of kindness and justice, a faith that visions a world flourishing with equity for all beings, a faith that demands the living out of goodness, a faith that requires thoughtfulness, a faith of wholeness. The tiny flame is a symbol of the spark of all of this within each of us. May it remind us of the sacred fire within us, place of eternal flame. May it burn away barriers in great mystery's name. Teach us warmth and goodness, melting away all differences until we are truly one. And today, in recognition of Truth, Healing, and Reconciliation Day, we light a special candle. And I offer these words to light that candle. May it light our way to truth, offer its warmth in our healing, and may its fire strengthen our commitment to the process of reconciliation. Let us join together in singing, and I invite you to rise in body or in spirit, and Leah probably has some instructions for folks.
I do. Yes, please rise in body or in spirit. We will sing Gathered Here once in unison and 2 times as a round. So if you're on that side of the room, please follow Tony. And then if you're on this side of the room, please follow me.
Today, this Sunday closest to September 30th, our National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, a day of memorial to recognize and acknowledge the effects of the Canadian Indian residential school system. We honor the day and let us every day strive to identify ways we might individually and collectively contribute to the work of reconciliation. As we gather, creating sacred space by our presence, Let us reflect on the 7 sacred teachings of our Indigenous siblings. Let us respect all voices, including the youngest, and be honest and truthful in our speaking. Let us listen deeply for the wisdom shared. Let us acknowledge the courage it takes to be vulnerable and meet each other with humility in recognition of that courage. And let us remember always that love abundant is the greatest power there is. Today, let our intention be to honor, listen, learn, and heal. Those in this room are invited to join Catherine, and those online, please join me, but stay muted, as we do responsive reading number 518, attributed to the Ojibwe people. And I will start with those online. Number 518, if you're hymnal, if you're looking at it. Grandfather, look at our brokenness.
We know that in all creation, only the human family has strayed from the sacred way.
We know that we are the ones who are divided.
And we are the ones who must come back together to walk in the sacred way.
Grandfather, Sacred One, teach us love, compassion, and honor,
that we may heal the earth and heal each other.
May it be so. Orange Shirt Day began in recognition of the story of Phyllis Jack, now Webstad, of the Canoe Creek Indian Band and Dog Creek Reserve. She, like many Indigenous children, was forcibly sent to residential school away from her family and community. We honor her story by acknowledging the harm the residential school system did to the children's sense of self-esteem and well-being, as well as the intergenerational effects of this mistreatment. We participate in Orange Shirt Day as an affirmation of our commitment to ensure that everyone around us, especially the children we guardian, know they matter. All children, all people matter. This morning's story, Our Orange Hearts, is offered by Phyllis Webstad herself.
Hi, Bestie. I'm here with my awesome author pal, Phyllis Webstad.
Hi there.
Phyllis is the founder of Orange Shirt Day.
That's right. We wear orange to honor the Indigenous children who were sent to residential school.
And today, Phyllis brought her book, With Our Orange Hearts, that explains even more. It was written by Phyllis and illustrated by Emily Kiwagashik.
This is my story. I, Phyllis, share my story true about my orange shirt that once was new.
Is that you wearing the orange shirt in the picture, Phyllis?
Yes, when I was a little girl, I was taken to a residential school. It's not like the school you go to today. It was a place where Indigenous kids, like me, were taken to stop us from learning about our Indigenous culture. My orange shirt was taken away at a lonely place where I had to stay. This made me cry and feel very sad, missing my family and the orange shirt I had.
Oh, that's so sad. I can't believe people would be so mean to kids.
Me too, Cotton Ball. But sharing my orange shirt story and how it made me feel helped me know that I could heal. I have hope for true reconciliation, help spread orange from nation to nation.
It's important to remember what happened so it'll never happen again.
That's right. Every child matters.
every child matters. Oh, thank you for sharing your story with us, Phyllis.
Gukshjam for listening.
Orange shirt hug?
Yes.
We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our hearts as you go. Nous vous enterrons des mots maintenant et toujours. Nous voulons que soyez paix pour toujours. Cultivons l'entente ciel jour après jour. Nous vous enterrons d'amour pour toujours.
That was beautiful. I'd never actually seen her reading that book. And I used to be a kindergarten teacher, so. Joys and concerns. As a spiritual community, it is our intention to be authentically present to one another, especially in these different and difficult times. One way we do this is by including in the service a time to listen to the significant personal milestones in our lives. If you have had such a milestone and wish to share it, now is the time to do so. We'll begin with those of you in the hall, and could you please come and line up over there? And then we'll invite those attending on Zoom. When you come to the microphone, please introduce yourself with your full name and your pronouns if you are comfortable doing that. Come on up, John. As I place the final pebble in the water bowl for the joys and concerns that have been left unspoken, I ask that you hold in your heart everything that you have heard and felt today.
We share in love, we listen in love, we hold one another in love. Each joy and concern we witness and learn and grow together in love. And grow together in love.
The Truth, Healing, and Reconciliation Commission's inquiry, the witnessing of stories and gathering information that informed their final report, held a closing ceremony March 29th, 2014. The ceremony included creating a time capsule. Canadian Unitarian Universalists were honored to make a contribution, which included a signed statement and a chalice. And a note to the signed statement says, Aboriginal people is the term we have used that includes First Nation, Indian, Métis, and Inuit peoples. Non-Aboriginal people is the term we have used that includes people from cultural backgrounds other than these. An expression of truth and reconciliation from the Canadian Unitarian Council and Unitarian Universalist Ministers of Canada, delivered to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, March 29th, 2014, in Edmonton, Alberta. We, the Canadian Unitarian Council and the Unitarian Universalist Ministers of Canada, commit to the journey of healing and reconciliation between Canadian Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people. Today, as we acknowledge and accept our responsibility for truth-telling, healing, and reconciliation, we commit to these specific steps to advance that journey. Number 1, to assemble and promote educational materials for our congregations regarding the history and impact of the Indian residential school system. Number 2, to create and promote a new program for congregations about racial equity and intercultural competency. Number 3, to continue to encourage our congregations and their members to learn more about the richness of Aboriginal spirituality and cultures, working together to advance the struggle for justice for Aboriginal people. To further express our understanding and commitment to change, we acknowledge that the principles which Unitarian Universalists affirm were transgressed in the Canadian Indian residential school system and by government legislation. We must learn from these travesties, as well as from the strength, courage, honesty, resilience, and success of those who survived the Indian residential school system. We want you to know we walk with you. Finally, we offer this chalice, a symbol of Unitarianism, as a gift. May it light our way to truth, offer its warmth in our healing, and may its fire strengthen our commitment to the process of reconciliation. And this letter is signed by, or was signed by, Gary Groot, President, Board of Trustees, Canadian Unitarian Council, by Rev Debra Faulk, President, Unitarian Universalist Ministers of Canada, and Vida Ng, Executive Director of the Canadian Unitarian Council.
My vertical challenge. It's amazing to think that that was 11 years ago that those words were written and sent. Today's focus on truth and reconciliation, from my understanding, includes the recognition that reconciliation requires the depth, fullness, and truth of situations to be acknowledged and hopefully understood, or at least the willingness to try and understand, including the consequences. The Indian residential school system in Canada is one part of a process, sometimes called genocide, of the Indigenous people of North America, or at the very least, the removal of their language and culture. Another significant contributor was the near eradication of the American bison, commonly known as buffalo. Buffalo roamed from the Rockies to the Atlantic and from Mexico to mid-Canada. The buffalo provided a way of life for many of the Indigenous people of this continent, provided food, clothing, lodging, fuel, tools, and toys. All parts were fully used and honored. The intentional kill of these herds was another attempt to end a way of life, with a lot of greed thrown into the mix. Herds were estimated at between 40 to 70 million in the 1850s, and were reduced to just a few thousand by the 1880s. The bones from the buffalo provided fodder for 10 years' worth of fertilizer. Part of our work, those of us who are settlers or non-Indigenous people, is to learn this history. Some of it can cause distress. In community, let us hold each other in our discomfort. Our amazing Tony Turner has written a song titled Buffalo Bone, and a little sidebar. Watch for the announcement of his next CD release. This song is on that CD. I so appreciate Tony's sensitivity, writing this song as he does from the perspective of a young settler boy. We use this song to take us into our time of meditation, and Leah will bring us out of the silence that follows Tony's song, Buffalo Bone.
I'm a settler's son. This prairie is my home. I'm picking fields of buffalo bone. I drove full wagons to the rail town. I got a few pennies for every 100 pounds. Skulls and bones piled in great mounds, soon to be shipped, then ground, crushed to dust, mixed with loam, fertilizer made from buffalo bone. I heard the tales of the ancient hunts, driving bison over cliffs some call buffalo jumps. Native families carved up the beasts, turned flesh and fat into pemmican meat. They made robes, strings and bows, pipes and masks, saddles and soap, knives and arrows, splints and combs. Nothing went to waste, not even buffalo bone. Folks like my pa came to tame this land. That's when the buffalo slaughter in it really began. Men on horses, repeater guns, some killed for pay, some killed for fun. No more food, no more hides, no neo way of life, no neo pride. We fence the land where the beasts once roamed. Now buffalo bodies rot into buffalo bone. Late last night, down on the reserve, was the strangest things folks around here ever heard. Painted buckskin, solemn chants, a forbidden rite they call the ghost dance. It's a call to the faithful ones that better days will surely come. Trying to make a mountain from a circle of stone, but buffalo can't be made from a buffalo bone. I'm a settler's son. This prairie is my home. I'm picking fields. Of buffalo bone.
We begin again and each other. We begin again in love.
For each time that our fears have made us rigid and inaccessible,
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
for each time we have struck out in anger without just cause,
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
for each time our discomfort has limited our willingness to know the truth,
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
for each time we stumble in our understanding of reconciliation,
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
we begin again in love. What does reconciliation require of us that we begin again in love? This is perhaps the essential thing, that this work is about relationship. It is about broken relationship and healing relationships and returning again and again to love. The reading Catherine offered earlier was only part of that dedication made over 10 years ago that started by expressing our intent to learn and understand with the potential to be changed in the process. The commitment to change included the acknowledgement of the ways in which each of our principles that we hold and affirm as Unitarian Universalists were transgressed. The inherent worth and dignity denied, justice and compassion abused, spiritual growth violently repressed. Each principle contravened with at least one example of how it was done. What does reconciliation require of us? That we recognize the negative impacts of colonial systems and work to dismantle them. That we willingly learn as much as we can of the fullness of the brokenness of our relationship with Indigenous people. We are called to be aware of the stark statistics that of those incarcerated, 29% are Indigenous, though they represent only 4% of the population. And even more shocking that 42% of women and 43% of youth incarcerated are Indigenous. What does reconciliation require of us? that we be aware of the present-day failings of the foster care system, which separate Indigenous children from their families and communities at higher rates than during the 60s scoop and the height of residential schools. We educate ourselves, for with knowledge comes energy and fuel to be part of the dismantling of systems that need to be. Our shift in awareness is in itself a contribution to the change for the good. I have been fortunate, and I have also been disquieted to have had my own awareness expanded much in the last month. I attended a Canadian Unitarian Council event about the state of Indigenous education. I watched an interview with Julian Brave Noisecat, the producer of the 2024 National Geographic documentary titled Sugarcane, which follows the investigation into St. Joseph's Indian Residential School, an Indian residential school near Williams Lake, British Columbia, which has ignited a reckoning in the lives of survivors and descendants. I haven't seen the movie yet. I need to brace myself for that, I think. But I do recommend it. It got 100% from Rotten Tomatoes. I've never heard that before. What does reconciliation require of us? To be willing to lean into the discomfort. What does reconciliation require of us? That we acknowledge the brokenness of relationships and systems, that we continue to learn and listen, that we be willing to change and be open to different perspectives, that we lean into our discomfort, and that we begin again and again in love, knowing that it will be muddy and rough. Please rise in body or in spirit as we join our voices in singing Woyaya.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah, 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 oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
The road will be muddy and rough, and yet I have great hope that we will get there. Just last week, I was so humbled to hear Judge Roger Cutler, some of you may have heard of him, speaking about the Duncan First Nations Court, over which he presides. It is heartening to hear some of the ways Indigenous culture is being integrated back into the judicial process for some Indigenous people. The Indigenous court is focused on sentencing and happens only when the offender acknowledges and takes responsibility for their actions, then willingly accepts the consequences. The focus is on healing, not on punishment. There is a recognition of circumstances beyond the actual crime that is taken into consideration, along with the need for restitution to be made. It happens in a circle. All of the participants, the offender, the judge, the prosecutor, and sometimes the victim or their representative, will all with an equal place, and elders there and honored. But the relationship goes beyond just that circle. It is an ongoing relationship, and that was one of the things the judge mentioned was so poignant for him. In all of the other situations, when someone is sentenced, he never knows what happened. In the Indigenous court, he has a relationship with these people. As I reflected on his presentation, memories of other times sitting in an Indigenous circle in ceremony came to mind, sitting in a sweat lodge. This morning, I share with you this print. It's titled Purification, and it is the image of sitting in a circle in a sweat lodge. I began to imagine the integration of some of these key concepts more broadly, the opportunity of being in relationship, of all voices being heard equally. In describing this print, the artist Roy Henry Vickers says, "The sweat lodge or purification ceremony has been with us since before history was written down." He related some of the important pieces of what purification in the sweat lodge is for him in his tradition here on Vancouver Island. He says that there are 4 rounds in a purification ceremony, consisting of a spoken message and song, as well as prayer and water poured on hot rocks. We look to the Creator, he said, for enlightenment and guidance. We pray for ourselves and others. We ask for knowledge, healing, vision, and strength. The sweat ceremony is to help us be more selfless and willing to help the world around us be a better place. So we strive to purify ourselves. Sitting in a circle, hearing each other's voices, how can we bring this more into our own worlds, our own organizations? The expression of the truth and reconciliation delivered to the Commission was acknowledging all of the transgressions of our then only 7 UU principles. And the 7th UU principle states, "We respect the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part." The place where the transgression occurred is named as, "This principle is integral to Aboriginal cultures." Not only did non-Aboriginals lose an opportunity to learn from your culture, this understanding was all but eradicated from your children's way of life by the school system. This recognition that the opportunity to learn from Indigenous culture has been thwarted, and striving to both learn ourselves and support the flourishing within Indigenous communities is something else reconciliation requires of us. The Indigenous expression I am familiar with, expressing our interdependence, that of relationship, is matakawasin, my relations, all my relations. We are all related. There are so many core values expressed in both the First Nations court and in the sweat lodge that offer us great learning. The power of a circle of all voices, faces being equal in a circle. The requirement to listen deeply with humility. and to potentially be changed by genuinely understanding different perspectives. To respect the wisdom of elders and to recognize our place in that interdependent web of life. This is what reconciliation is about. Our Canadian Unitarian Council vision statement says that our interdependence calls us to love and justice. And our more recent edition of the 8th principle states that individually and communally, that we will affirm individual and communal action that accountably dismantles racism and systemic barriers to full inclusion in ourselves and our institution. Both of these provide the foundation for us to continue this often challenging work of healing relationships. What does reconciliation require of us? To be open, to be willing, to return always to love, and to answer its call. Let us join our voices again. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit as we sing Answering the Call of Love. Our closing words today come from the Indigenous writer Richard Wagamese from his book Embers. And for those of you who might be interested in a book club, we are going to be having a CUCUU Reads, if you will, and I will be championing this book as part of that. Words from Richard Wagamese. I have been considering the phrase all my relations for some time now. It's hugely important. It's our saving grace in the end. It points to the truth that we're all related, that we're all connected, that we all belong to each other. The most important word is all. Not just those who look like me, sing like me, dance like me, speak like me, pray like me, or behave like me. All my relations. That means every person, just as it means every rock, mineral, blade of grass, and creature. We live because everything does. If we were to choose collectively to live that teaching, the energy would cause a change of consciousness that would heal all of us and heal the planet. I extinguish our Indigenous candle this morning. May its light light our way to truth, offer its warmth in our healing, and may its fire strengthen our commitment to the process of reconciliation. You're not vertically challenged.
Thank you. And now it's time for our offering. Nuria and Sharon will now pass the baskets for the offering. For those here with us for the first time, your presence is your contribution. Those online can go to our website and check the big blue donate button on the home page to give. And for those of you who don't carry cash, that's me, we now accept your donations via debit or credit cards. This can be done at our welcoming table near the entry doors after the service. To help the wider community, half of all cash donations will be given to our charity of the month. This month's charity is the Unitarian Shelter, which is now managed by the Nanaimo Family Life Association, and it's downstairs. It provides shelter, meals, and support services to adults experiencing homelessness. If you want your donation to go to the charity of the month, you will need to make a note of that on your e-transfer or check. Thank you for your support. We'll extinguish our other chalice. Yeah, take a deep breath. It's okay. Here it comes. No? Almost. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. We are almost at the end of this very powerful service. After we sing Carry the Flame, you have the opportunity to join a social group in the hall, and there are refreshments and discussion, and we also have our AGMs, so please stick around for that. If you want to join an online breakout room, stay online, and the host will put you there. Before we end, I want to thank the many people who have given their time and energy to make today's service so wonderful. The Sunday Services Committee, the audio-visual team, Leah, the fabulous Fufonics, the greeters and offering collectors, those at the welcoming table, the kitchen volunteers who come early and stay late for cleanup, those who brought food and flowers, our heartfelt gratitude to all of you, and a special thank you to the two moms over there with our youngest not quite members, but it is such a blessing to hear their little voices. We'll now sing our final song, Carry the Flame. The words are on the wall in the hall, there and there. Our custom is to stand and hold hands or touch elbows as you are comfortable.